What's going on, guys? Welcome to a video. It's been a while since I've posted a video. It's been a whole month actually since my recap of the first quarter of 2024, which was quite amazing. But April is over and we move on to May. Now, today was a very, very rough day, so I want to be fully transparent and make a recap. I did post it on the community tab and been getting a lot of support. And I just want to go over the entire day, the sequence as to why it was such a tough day, because I technically only lost 6 funded accounts, which is not the end of the world. And it's definitely not the worst trading day for me. However, it feels like it because of the sequence of events that it took place to get me here. So today I lost 6 funded accounts that were, a lot of them were at payout, which is again a very painful thing to do because again it's guaranteed payout. Now I won't be able to get as big of a payout in May, the first half of May, so that's another thing that sucks. So we're gonna go over what transpired today and go from there. But before we do, before you feel bad, right? Before I start, dwelling on this too much, I have to remind myself, I just had my best month ever. So this was a blip on the radar. It's going to happen. I've been saying that for many, many times. I've been saying that many, many times that I'm going to have a month this year where I probably don't get a single withdrawal. And this is not going to be the month. This month, I'm still going to be able to get something salvaged. But I had just finished my best trading month ever, a month I've never imagined having. This was a yearly dream, right? When I started trading many years ago, $81,000 in one single year would have been the dream to get, because this was something that you do part-time as side hustle. It's extra money in addition to my regular business. So this is something that I always strive for and I was always hoping to make. Now, I made this in 1 month and it's amazing, and I could have made more. That's even the craziest part, right? I could have made a lot more. I could have made close to 100,000. And I made some mistakes last week, and I also had a payout denied from Elite Trader Funding for $2,250, which would have put me close to $83,000, $84,000 on the month. But anyway, $81,000 total, and $63,750 is from Apex. Ballnox paid me out $11,500. Elite Trader Funding $4,000, and my personal account with M Futures, I've made $1,800. That includes today's loss of about $800 on that account. So again, if I didn't lose on today and I would have had my Elite Trader Funding payout approved, it would have been close to $85,000 on a single month, which is crazy. And my best month before that was $56,000. So overall, super happy with how things are going so far this year. Obviously, I've beat my goals when I made the video in early January or end of December about my goals. I mean, all those goals are basically now out the window, and now we're focused on much bigger goals, which is awesome to do. But when you think, before I go into today, when you think that it gets easier when you make a lot of withdrawals, it really doesn't. Basically, what happens is the withdrawals and the payouts become routine. So if you don't get any, you actually feel like you failed. Versus when you are not getting consistent payouts, when you're failing, you're like, this sucks, whatever. And then when you get a payout, you're excited, you feel like you achieved something. When you get consistent payouts, I've been getting payouts for 11 months consistently. Obviously, some payouts are much smaller than others, but been getting a payout pretty much every single month for the last 11 months. So now if I wouldn't get a payout or a bigger payout, it feels like a failure. Now, that's how I felt like this morning. That's why I was kind of upset on stream at myself for things I've done, the choices I've made with my entries and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, it's going to happen. The strategy is what got me here, so that's another thing I got to talk about. But I'm still able to get some payouts. I still got 10 accounts, and that's with just Apex. I still have 4 accounts with Bullnox, 5 accounts actually, because I just activated a new one. And I have another one that I could activate with Bullnox. So I'm gonna have 6, 7 accounts with Bullnox. Elite Trader Funding, I took a loss on it today, but I'm gonna get it back. Probably won't get a payout with it till mid-May, but again, still opportunity to get at least a decent payout here, maybe $5, $6, $10,000 between Bullnox and Apex for the first week of, or first half of May, and basically salvage a little bit of the month. It's not going to be what I wanted it to be, but still going to be a good 35 minutes. God, I just was not planning on talking about that, and here I am. But let's talk about what happened first. So first, my opening range trade, I did not like the short. I was long biased, and maybe that saved me. I don't know. I never, for the most part, I never stop out of the trade. And today I got short to a tick, which was too tight of an entry for me. And I've avoided these traps many, many times. That's how I've been so successful at this. And today I just placed the order a little bit too tight, and I got basically filled to a tick, and I stopped out. Typically, I don't stop out, and I think I would have been able to salvage this for a much smaller loss, or I could have added and salvaged it. We'll see. I mean, we'll see. We'll never know because I stopped out manually for a $800 loss. So basically, I took a $22 loss per contract. So about $400 per contract, right? So if I had 2 contracts, I lost 800. If I had 4 contracts, I lost 1600. If I had 3 contracts, I lost 1200. And that was across about 20 accounts between Apex and other prop firms. So overall, it sucked, but I gave back some profits, and I put a lot of the accounts that were at payout that I was trying to grow a cushion under payout. Okay, so I was like, these I will have to work on these accounts for the second half of May. Then I tried midday scalping, and I got one of the accounts back to just $250 from $1,200 down to $250 down on the day. All right. So I felt like I was salvaging it, and then I had a decent bias on the trade. However, this candle just caught me off guard. So I bounced up to 200. This candle went up. I went long and ended up getting killed. So I ended up losing that account. It says negative 3,000, but I couldn't have lost that much. It just, the volatility picked up and it just didn't trigger me out. So I lost negative 653 below the drawdown, which is not really possible. Again, I look at this as tokens. I don't look at this as money. To me, nothing matters besides what I pay for the accounts, when I take out from the accounts. Everything else is just numbers. It's just tokens, and I have to get to a certain amount of tokens to be able to get to payouts, right? That's how I look at it, and that's just my mental trick, to not to get, hung up on the actual P&L, because I don't really care about the P&L from today. It's more about the accounts and the time lost for the payout, because now if I don't get a 40K payout early May, I'm never going to be able to recover from that, right? I'm going to miss out on the 40K. So that's how I think of it. But then I ended the stream early because I didn't want to, after I took this loss, I didn't want to, which I knew if I take single loss after the opening trade, I'm done. So I knew that there was earnings for Amazon. So you could trade earnings, and Google earnings were beautiful. So I figured, all right, I'm going to try to make some losses back on Amazon earnings. And I did exactly that. So you guys could see that here, I went from down like $800 or so per account. And I took 4 accounts and I got them. I don't know why one only was at 463 and the rest were pretty much break even, but that's what happened. So right there, I made back the losses. You could see these 2 accounts were at payout, right? So 3,000 on these accounts. So right there was a perfect trade, but you guys could see this orange line. That means I had a long and the short, and I have a video of this. I had a long and the short, like I always do, and I got filled long, and I wasn't sure if that was the earnings. It didn't seem like a big move. There was a huge sell-off at the end of the day as well, which kind of screwed everything up. I feel like the earnings got leaked or something. I don't know. But there was a huge sell-off at the end of the day, so that kind of ruined it. And then when it popped up here, I didn't think that was the actual earnings yet because it wasn't that big of a move. So when I got filled there and I profited quite nicely, I also passed one eval, which I got to activate. I didn't cancel the short. So then it came back down, and unfortunately bottom ticked me, and I have a video of that. So let's play that really quick here. Let me just mute that because I was playing the CNBC. So I get filled long there, and I'm out. So very quick trade, and you see I'm about to cancel that. Well, I didn't. I said, well, this wasn't that big of a move. Maybe that wasn't the earning yet. And here I was like, oh, this is gonna tank. And this order was way too far down, um, in hindsight. But bottom ticked it. Bottom ticked it, and here I'm gonna get basically, um, stopped out for a massive loss. I mean, this happened in seconds, and here I lost the 4 accounts that I pretty much made back. I lost them, and I was so frustrated with myself of that, because that's not something I do. It's just I thought I could outplay the market, and I got greedy, right? I thought that maybe I could make it back, not only from down 812, but to actually be up around $600 per account, and that ended up costing me 4 accounts. So that was my day. And again, the same way I had a bottom tick entry on the opening trade, I had a bottom tick entry on the earnings, and it just kind of frustrated me, and a lot of mistakes were made. And that's why, indeed, it was one of the most frustrating um, days I've had as a futures trader with prop firms. Was this my biggest losing day? I don't know. Again, I don't look at it as a P&L. I look at it more as how many accounts did I lose. I lost 6 accounts. I've lost more than that in the past, and I still have 10 accounts, and some of the accounts are still very healthy. Most of the accounts are still healthy, so I should be able to make some profits back. And my goal for May is going to be adjusted. I was hoping to match 80K and maybe even get to 100K, because I do have 4 accounts that are at unlimited payouts. So with unlimited payouts, maybe I could get 20K out of the accounts, or even more. Instead of just 2K or 1500 on Bullnox, I have 2 accounts on Bullnox, unlimited payouts, and 2 on Apex with unlimited payouts. So I figured that if I don't take payouts from them in the early May, I could just build them up all through May, and then get a big payouts from them end of May, and then maybe possibly get to 100K, which is crazy to even think about. But the thing is, this is real trading, and the real journey of trading, I guess. Not real trading, but the real journey of trading. And there's going to be ups and downs. And I was talking, obviously, to all my friends and my Discord and stuff like that. And I had to realize something myself as well, because I went through this so many times. And this is what makes or breaks us as traders. And I went through this so many times in the past, many, many years ago, when I was not profitable, right? With real money. So I would have lost 5 grand. Today I lost what? I lost 6 accounts. You do the math, even if they're lifetime, yeah, I could have gotten some payouts from them. So I lost some profits that I've made on in tokens on those accounts, some credits. However, actual monetary loss was quite small, right? It was maybe $1,000. All right. So in grand scheme of things, it's tiny, because I've lost way more than that on real accounts. And then I was not even huge profit, as a profit. I was making $1,000, $2,000 a month. So yeah, maybe I was making some money, but I wasn't making a lot of money. So I didn't feel like I was super profitable, and I would have those huge losing days, and I'll get over them, and I'll continue. So there's no reason not to get over this. It's much easier when you do get payouts, to get over it. But in the moment itself, it's hard. Okay. In the moment, it's not any different. With time, it gets easier. Like, now it's already 10 p.m. and I've been watching some crazy playoffs, hockey, and basketball. So I'm making this video late, but it gets easier over time, because you're like, oh, I had so many payouts, I'll get back to it. And also, I was afraid that Apex will do like a 71% off sale instead of the 80% off, but they brought it back. So that's one of the positives, right? I could replace the PAs quickly. So I'm going to be focused. We have plenty of news, and you could trade evals on news. So you could trade FOMC, non-farm payrolls. You could trade so many different news events that we have coming up for the rest of the week on evals. And that's what I'm going to do personally. And I'm going to try to pass them quickly, because if I get them funded by Monday, I'm able to still work on the payout, big payout for May 20th, which is going to be my goal. But another thing I want to focus on is believe it or not, as crazy as this sounds, this was my first loss on the Bullnox accounts. All right. This was my first bigger loss on the Bullnox account since December 13th, since I activated those accounts. It's actually hard to believe, and I could obviously prove that. And the only reason why I've never lost is because it happened to because I don't lose often on the opening range trade, and the 2 times I lost on the opening range trade this year, besides today, I did not trade on the Bullnox accounts. Okay. I'm trying to think. Let me see exactly. Let's see exactly. Oh, this is a newer account. Yeah, so these are all payouts. So all the dips here are payout. And it's hard to see, but this is the first losing day. And unfortunately, they don't go back. This is newer for Bullnox. They don't go back all the way till December. But that's when I activated these accounts. But in 55 trading days, that was my first losing day, guys. I mean, ICT even said something yesterday, and it kind of stuck with me because I don't really know ICT at all and his concepts and whatnot. But someone mentioned that he was talking about me in his live stream, but he was not. He was talking about Matt, which I want to give credit to Matt as well. Matt's been killing it. Trades by Matt. And but when ICT was talking about Matt, he wasn't saying who it was until the very end. So when I got to that portion of the live stream when he was talking, I thought he was talking about me because someone in my stream said that he was talking about me, and I guess they didn't listen to the whole thing either because it sounded like me, but then it wasn't me. And it kind of gave it away with the payouts. He said $160,000 thumbnail, which I never had. I've made 211,000, but I never made a thumbnail with that. So kind of was getting at hints that it wasn't about me, but the concept was like, I have something small, but it works, right? A 22 tick trade is making me all this money. Why am I gonna change? Why am I gonna switch things around when 22 ticks, 1-2 minutes a day is making me so much money that yes, it's nice to be able to scalp and trade midday as well, because again, this was my biggest losing day on volume of accounts. I mean, I've copy traded 25 accounts this morning, including a couple evals. So when I'm trading that many accounts, it's scary. So when I'm able to trade well midday, I won't copy trade as many accounts at the open. I'm going to do 15 accounts and then trade 5 accounts or 6 accounts throughout the day. But when throughout the day it's not working, I want to focus on the opening range trade. And today was like the biggest loss with the most accounts I've had at once. So it was kind of difficult, but I don't want to change too many things because again, I have that small piece. Yeah, everyone's looking for. Everyone wants to get that small piece that works for them. And today was an example of the opening range trade. If you this is your first day on the opening range trade, you're not trading this style again, right? Because you blew all your accounts. For me, this is my first loss since December on this account, for example. It's my fourth loss since November on the style of trade. And again, very easy mistake and very easy to adjust to it. But anyway, guys, don't want to get off topic here, but yeah, ICT was talking about like having that small piece, making a lot of money with the smallest amount of effort, and not trying to just overcomplicate things and not to go for too much. If this is working, don't go for more type of thing, which was something that was kind of resonating with me. And having a YouTube channel and stuff, and been showing the opening range trade on how it works, how the P&L works, at least on the stream. I haven't been showing the entries, and I will probably not do it because if I took it live on stream today and people followed me into a trade and then everyone would have lost, I would have been very more emotional. So I don't want that at all. Again, that's a trade I get in, 30 seconds to 45 seconds before the open. So for me, is not something I want people to follow me into. Versus midday scalps, I usually don't place orders ahead of time. Usually that's and there's not as much consistency. When you see someone being super consistent with the trade and you're seeing them place trades, you're gonna try to copy them, and people ask for that if I have signals and stuff like that, and I never plan on doing that. So again, find something that works for you. I mean, all it takes is 5 points, and this is how much money I made with 5 points, guys. 5 points out of the market every single day on a consistent basis, 80 grand over multiple accounts. And it's just amazing what a little bit of edge, that's all we need. As retail traders, we just need the smallest edge to make a lot of money thanks to prop firms. And there's been a lot of negativity going on Twitter about prop firms from other bigger gurus or whatever you want to call it in the stock market space. So I don't want to get into it. I actually respect the guy, and but what he says to me, it doesn't make sense because I've been trading stocks and I couldn't get profitable. So if you can't get profitable with prop firms like Apex and most prop firms nowadays, actually, then you're not going to be profitable live trading, because if you can't make money for 10 days with the prop firm, how are you going to make money long term on your live account? You're just not going to. The prop firms have such lenient rules nowadays. When you look at all the space of prop firms, you could find something that works for you. It doesn't have to be Top Step if you don't like trading drawdown. You could go, it doesn't have to be Apex if you don't like trading drawdown. You could go to Top Step. You could go to bull unlocks. You could get end of day drawdown on bull unlocks. There's other prop firms out there that you could kind of go to and find something that works for you. So if you're not gonna make it work in the prop firm, most likely it's not gonna work on your live account. I have been trading my live account. Um, and again, doing it so prop firms can't say what I'm doing is sim abuse, that you can't scalp on the live account when I'm doing exactly the same thing. I lost the same exact amount today on my live account that I did on the sim accounts, right? So everything is the same. The fills, the exit, if you're using smaller contract size, 2-3 contracts, it's never a problem. It's always the same. So I don't want to hear that it's sim abuse, because it's not. Anyway, guys, that's going to be it. Super long video, but it's been a while since I've made an update. So I will be working on my car video. So I have ordered a Porsche 911. It's coming in June. So the build is all set in. I can't make any changes to the car. So I want to make a build video, and also want to recap the end of April on how everything went. I want to show proof of the payouts and stuff like that. So definitely we'll be working on that video this week. Anyway, guys, hit that like, hit the subscribe. 80% off from Apex is live all through May, so enjoy that. Let's get back to it. I'm going to be buying some evals myself and getting right back to it. Right back to it tomorrow, guys. No reason to take time off. There's no reason to dwell on this. Just got to keep going and keep getting better. All right? Take care, guys, and see you tomorrow on the stream.